All right, so once we have our, let me just get rid of this. Once we have our model all sculpted, he looks like he's got he's got male pattern balding. He's a bald eagle. Once we have the sculpting done, imagine I did an awesome job. We're gonna want to texture this. Okay, so that's the next thing. Before we do that, we have to go back to the UVs, and what you're gonna notice is this. So if I select this and hit Tab, and we hit A, you'll see this fills up. Well, not quite, but it kind of fills up the area, right? So each one of these do that as they should. Okay, right? But the problem is I want them to all share basically the same image and then to all kind of lay together. I don't want to have a separate image for each one of these. So what we need to do, um, I want the UVs to basically all fit together on an island. It'll just be better that way. We might actually have to make separate materials. We'll see. But for now, I just want them to be not like that. So what we need to do is this. We're going to select all the elements. So I'll make sure I'm in object mode. I'm going to hit A to select all. Then I'll hit Tab. Then I'll hit A to select all again. So I have all of the components. Then in here, you want to hit A to make sure you have to hover over here. Hit A to select all of the UV islands. We're going to go to UV. And then what we want to do is just pack the islands. It's gonna, I don't know what these numbers mean, just hit pack. And then it's gonna basically try to fit all of the pieces together. They are very tight, actually. UV, pack, islands. Let's see, rotation, blah, blah, blah. Does it have, here we go. Let's do a margin of like 0.01, just so there's a little bit more space between them. That's a little better. See how now there's little gaps? You don't want them so tight. Okay. So I guess I did know what those numbers meant. Anyway, so now they are, if you go to each one of these, you'll see that they now all fit together. Okay, good. So the next thing to do is we want to texture paint, okay? But before I do that, we need to actually set up the shader to paint on. So we're going to go to shading, and we're going to do a new shader. So we should, let's hit A. Can I select all of it? Oops. A. There we go. I'm gonna select all of it. I'm gonna hit new. Okay, and now each one, oh man, it made them all the same. Okay, so that's pretty disappointing. I don't know how to make them all share the same one. Okay, okay, so we could just do it that way. So we'll just select each piece now, and I'm gonna select this one, and I'm just click on this and click on that. Click on this. I'm gonna click the little thing here, material. Okay, great. I would like to name this material. So let's go to the material here and okay, and we'll call this call whatever your character. Mine's small bird underscore material. That way I know what it is. It's a little bit easier. Okay, so basically clicked on that, did that. All right, good. So now I need to do is basically make the images that we're going to paint on. So over here, I'm going to hit Shift A, and we're going to, or you go to Add, and you want to go to Texture, and we want to do Image Texture. I'm going to click here, and then, hit New, and we'll call this Color Map. Let's make the size much larger. We're going to do 4096, just because this is going to be for everything, 4096. And then the default color is what you want to put here. So whatever you're thinking the color should be, I'm just going to make mine, oops, not 50.5, default gray, like just mid gray, and then I'll paint it manually afterwards. So I'll hit new image, boom, okay. Then you want to go from color to base color. It's going to turn to that. That's fine. The other thing we need to do is we need to make a normal map. So again, I'm going to hit Shift A. In here, or I hit Control A. I'm at Shift A. You want to go to Vector, and we want to do a normal map. Boom. Click here. Great. We're going to need an image to also attach to that. So again, go to, where are you? Texture and Image. Click here. Once again, click New, and we'll call this Normal Map. Boom. And New Image. And we do need to change one thing. We got to change the color space to non-color. And we're going to go from color to color and from normal to normal. Okay, good. Now, The next thing we need to do is this. I need to make some adjustments to the actual model itself before I actually go to the next part. So go to modeling. I'm going to select all of it. Then we're going to go to object, and I want you to choose shade smooth. That way, when it makes the normal maps, it'll be soft and it'll just make it hard like it's supposed to be. Okay, back to shading. All right, that should be good. So now what I want to do is I want to bake those details as a normal map onto this guy. So I'm just going to use the head as an example. I don't know if I can I do them all at the same time? I don't know. Let's see if we can do them all at the same time. Let's hit A. Actually, we have to do this first. Go to the render. We got to switch the render to cycles. Okay. Then it's actually only going to work on the head right now anyway, because I don't think I put the multi-resolution. But you would want to select all of it. Switch the renderer to cycles. Make sure we have the normal map selected as well. So select the head, select the normal map, change the renderer to cycles. We're going to go down to bake. And then we want to bake from multi-res, and we're going to choose normal map. Okay. Then you're just going to hit bake. Boop. It's going to take a second. It might be a good time to save it. And what you're going to see is, if you look, it's got all the details. But if you were to actually look at the model, let me bring this down a little bit. If we were to put on the wireframe, you'll see the wireframe isn't actually any of those things. It's just the normal map. And now we've got that looking like that just from doing the normal map. So that's why you want to sculpt those high-res details, because then we're able to bake them into this and it looks much cooler. So now what we're going to do is you're going to go to the texture paint. Oh, actually, before you go to texture paint, go back to shading and select the color map first. Then go to texture paint, because you'll notice that it will show me the purple here. And where are you? Yeah, it says I got color map. I don't know why it's showing me. It says it's color map. Weird. Hang on. Well, it said color map up here, but it wasn't actually doing it. So it was showing this. So if you just go up here and click like to normal map, then back to color map, it will all of a sudden start showing it. I'm not sure why it wasn't before, but it is now. Okay. So from here, now what we can do is actually start painting our elements. Okay. So we might want to go to this mode. So that way I can see the normal map, just so it'll be easier to paint too. And basically, we have the paint, blur, smear, clone. You can fill. So if I wanted it all to be like this yellow, I thought I was on fill. I want it to be the yellow. I click, it'll paint the fill. Okay. You also have the option of painting over here if it's easier than painting over here. But I'd be a little wary of that. Okay. So yeah, we got the paintbrush, and you can see we have these different kind of, there's an eraser, clone, smear, there's different ones, okay? With this brush, you can see also there's options down here as well. Now, most of these options will basically be the same that they were for the sculpting, and we can apply basically the same thing, okay? So see that there's texture and there's texture mask, okay? So texture mask is basically what we were doing before, where it's going to be like an alpha. So if I click on this, I could choose this again. And then I'm just going to do like, let's do this a little bit brighter. It's going to want to paint basically that. So let's just make this a bit bigger, right? So it's just going to use it as a stroke. That one's a bad example, actually. Let's use the other one. It's just going to use that as the stroke. So for this, you might, again, want to go to here and scroll up, and then you might find ones like effects or paint. Actually, paint would be really good. These are good like swatches that you would generally use for painting. These would be pretty good. See, here's some stencils. These aren't super handy. Miscellaneous. But look around in these. Like these would be good for follicles. That sort of thing. Okay, like this is a pretty good brush tip. I'd probably use that as a brush tip. So look through these and you can use those. But it's just going to be the same thing that we did before, but with that instead. So what I suggest is, besides this as an option, I'm going to turn that off. You can also just use texture. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back to that website again. And we didn't use these last time. I'm going to go to textures, and you'll see that there are textures in here. So I'm going to look for something. Rock, skin, and fur. Let's do skin and fur. These are all kind of gross looking. I don't think you're meant to look at skin this closely. These are not great. Let's do walls, stock, roofing, rock, paint, textures, miscellaneous. Anything good in miscellaneous? These are all gross. I'm going to grab this bark because I liked it before. So I'm just going to download that. Okay. Again, you might have to look around. You might have to go on the internet in particular for this one. Extract. But when you do, just look for seamless textures. Okay. I'm going to go back to Blender. Now what I can do is under texture, we can do it here, or I can click there like we did last time. I'm just going to add it here. And then let's see. You know what? Maybe not. Let's not do it that way. We're going to go in here. We'll add a new one. We're going to open, and then downloads and bark. I'm going to grab that and open image. Voila, it's there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the brush. And now it's under a texture. Okay. So what this is going to do as a texture is it's actually going to tint the color. If I make this pure white, okay, it's actually going to paint the color of that directly. Okay. Now, if you start to go towards blue, it's going to shift it to the blue tone. So if the color is already what you want, you can just leave it as white, as a pure white, and you'll get the absolute color that is there. Okay. What you might even want to do is bring it into Photoshop and tint it there, make sure it looks the color you want, and then bring it in here and start painting away. What might be helpful here too is instead of view plane, use tile, because what ends up happening when you do tiled is it will actually, you can keep painting, and if it's a seamless texture, if this one's not, see the seam here, but if it's a seamless texture, it will actually just paint across, and then you can wrap it around, which can be kind of handy. But you can see this one is not seamless. Like this side does not match this side, and that bottom does not match that top. There are ways of making seamless textures. So that could be useful. You could use it in the other thing as well. And again, there's still stencil. And you can use it in combination with texture mask if you want it as well. But texture mask is basically the same thing we did before. Yeah, so basically you'd want to paint your details and things like that utilizing the various tools here. And hopefully you will see them okay. So you can see like the normal map's not as visible now. Let's go ahead and fill back to white so I can see it. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. So that's what you should get done basically is first UV. You're going to have to UV map all the pieces. Then sculpt the high-res details, bake it to a normal map, and then texture paint the pieces here. And you can kind of do it in whatever manner. I would suggest using those brushes. If you just try to straight brush with just the default brushes, they're not that great. So you can do things where you go to like the fall off and you can change like making it sharp or flat or whatever. But there's not like a lot of options. I mean, there's some options here, but basically there's nothing built in like alpha wise, the brush tip wise, which is kind of lame. Not sure why that is, but that's just kind of the case. So that is what I would like you to do. So good luck.